Good morning, Ag Explorations. Okay, we're going to finish up our notes today, so I hope you guys all have the water distribution notes open and ready to go. So if you remember from yesterday, we did talk about a couple things that were going on, and it was really government heavy. So we're going to continue on that conversation and just understand that maybe there are some possibilities that we can do to help in the short term and the long term. So let's go ahead and get going. All right, here we go. Surface water depletion. What is surface water depletion? It's drought and water overuse that have significantly reduced surface water resources. So basically everything we're doing right now, because we're in a drought, is water overuse. We do not have the supply to technically meet demand, yet we keep using. Blows my mind. Let's just keep using water even though who knows if we're going to get it back. All right, I'm going to get ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Moving on. All right. Groundwater is being used primarily for irrigation faster than it can be replenished. That's a big issue. So like I was saying, our groundwater is already low and we have to keep pulling it because we don't have the surface water that we can pull from. We don't have that surface water. It's not in the reservoirs. It's not in anything else. Hopefully, if we can get a good snowpack, our groundwater will finally start to be replenished. But we're not replenishing it as of right now. Is it raining right now? Do we have snow melting? No, it's all gone. We keep pulling and there's nothing going in. Remember that cardboard box? When it's empty, how strong is it to hold up? All right, here's a long one. For ag, generally groundwater recharges so slowly that it takes much longer to replace a given amount of water taken from an aquifer as compared to a lake or pond. It takes longer. We have to have that snow melt. Also, aquifers were built over time. It didn't just happen. How are we expected to fill it when before it took years? About 26% of freshwater used for the U.S. comes from groundwater in general. So we do use a lot of surface water, but our freshwater surface water is not available to us. So we're down to 26% of our resources, which our aquifers aren't even full. So therefore, we're not even at that 26%. Of that 26%, usually on average, about 68% is used for irrigation. The rest of the percentage is obviously used for everything else, which we'll move on to that in a second. It's scary how low that percentage is actually starting to get. We just have to fill our surface water. We will not be able to depend on it next year, or at least our groundwater. We just won't be able to. All right, if I do happen to go too fast, you can always ask to pause the video. But I'm going to move on in 3, 2, 1. Oh, Pandora commercial. Shh. Oh, it's not letting me go. All right. Too much irrigation can lead to waterlogging and salinization. So let's say we had an abundance of water and we're like, yeah, we can just irrigate the crap out of everything. Woohoo, we're excited. That's not a good idea because waterlogging and salinization, which we talked about salinization. Salinization, salinity, that means salts. Too much of salt and it makes everything unable to grow. Why would we want to do that? But then, besides it, if we don't get we don't get salinization that occurs, waterlogging occurs. And the soil becomes saturated with water to the point where no oxygen no longer gets in, which can be a real pain in the butt. Typically what happens is there's just so much algae in there, it ends up suffocating the plant life and everything else. And nothing else will be productive from that area. It's kind of sad. You're danged if you do, danged if you don't. How much to irrigate? It's got to be the amount required by the plant. No more, no less. Hopefully we can become more and more efficient. All right, I'm going to move on in 3, 2, 1. Groundwater mining. All right, here's a concept. Oh, you know what? Maybe. Okay, anyways. About 18% of groundwater goes to public use, such as drinking water, withdrawing groundwater faster than it can be replaced is called groundwater mining. So right now, that's what we're doing. We are groundwater mining. We are taking too much. 18% of the groundwater goes to the public. Well, I'd pretty much say we're using that full 18%, but I don't think there's much more than that in the ground. We are groundwater mining. We're not pulling from groundwater anymore. We are mining it purposely for our own use. I really like this picture. It has our water table right here. So here's accessible water. Okay? And this is impermeable. But if we keep drilling past it, we're going to find that we can find other water deposits down below. Here's the impermeable layer, and that means that water does not go below it. So a lot of times people say, oh, we hit rock, can't find it, no more water. If they just keep drilling down, a lot of times we can get the sponge-like formation of an aquifer. Moving on in 3, 2, 1. Sorry. Woo. Trying to figure out how to go in and out. Whoop. I'm not going to use that anymore. Here we go. Groundwater depletion. Many aquifers are being drained as groundwater is being mined. This is current. This is a current situation. It is happening in California. Groundwater depletion. Let's get that straight. As aquifers are depleted, water tables drop and groundwater becomes more difficult and expensive to use. So the more people who have to draw from the ground, the less there is for everybody else, because you have to have an even percentage. And it's expensive. You got to drill wells. You maybe got to get a new drill or a new well. That is so much money. And they can charge an arm and a leg because we need it. Falling water tables. So when that water table falls, just like in that cardboard box, it can cause harm to areas of the land. And we're not so much wetlands anymore, but our land could sink or buckle. Sink or buckle. That's sketchy. And then that aquifer does not come back. It is not the same thing. We ruin our aquifers. We ruin California agriculture. Keep that in mind. Okay, I'm going to move on in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay. Addressing freshwater depletion will largely depend on strategies that decrease water demand. We're thinking of things, so what they've come up with is desalination. But what did we talk about yesterday? Why is that a bad idea to have a desalination plant? Any ideas? Okay, I'm just going to tell you since I can't see you. 1, it's expensive to build them. 2, it takes too long. 3, we're putting salt back into the ocean, so we're imbalancing the ratio around the area, which could make life sterile in the ocean of that regard. And 4, we have to ship the dang water. We have to ship it. It's not going to be in production fast enough in order for us to just create a stream right from it. This will never be a fix. We like to think it will because, hey, it sounds smart, but it will never be a fix. Remember, for desalination, you have to boil that water, let the steam gather in the top, and it goes through a series of pipes to cool off. As it cools off, it condenses, making drinkable water. But it's definitely not feasible for large-scale production. Oops, sorry guys. It's a good song. All right, solutions that reduce demand. Hopefully. So here we have a 360 water solution where they all can tap together. We need to use technology to our advantage to conserve energy, use agriculture, and taking care of agriculture, and we grow things that are climate based. Right? We have the security and the health, 360 water solutions. But let's talk about it in real terms. Agriculture, industry, there's two different things, and individuals need to implement water conservation practices. So I'm going to flat out say, like, the government needs to as well. We all need conservation practices. Agriculture solutions would be using efficient water irrigation methods. Boom. Checklist. We already have that, and we're constantly trying to do more. We have different sprinkler systems that just go right over the root ball. We have things that irrigate in the ground, so there's literally no evaporation. You're getting 100% what you paid for, which is cool, but there are some cons to that. And choosing crops suitable for the climate and land. It's a really, really big deal. I'm not going to plant a grove of avocado trees in my backyard. One, it freezes. Let's be real. We have to choose things that are suitable for where we're at. We ready, set, go. All right, industrial solutions would be increased water efficiency and recycled water. So I'm going to use Hilmar Cheese for an example. They have a reclamation facility. So what happens, they take water and they wash down all their machines. That water goes through these drains, which gets sent out to their water reclamation. Oh, excuse me, let me start over. Okay, first off, when you get milk, the majority of it is water. You guessed it right, it's water. When we extract the cheese components from it, the curd, the whey, when we extract that, what's left is just kind of a dirty water, like a light milky water, like non-fat milk, but even worse. Okay, just gross. Then it goes through a water reclamation center, gets purified, then gets sent back to the factory where it rinses off all the machines and keeps everything clean, rinse down where the machine's been, everything. That gets strained down and sent to the reclamation center again for a second time. So this water is getting used 1, 2, and 3 times. So it is sent back there, re-cleaned, and the water just looks murky. It just looks like a milky color. But to be honest, it's the best. It's super clean. It's cleaner than some of our bottled water. So we send that out and they irrigate crops around the area. So it's kind of a win-win situation. So that's a good industrial solution that more people need to take. All right. So here's some personal solutions. Water conservation in daily uses. So, just like I said yesterday, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Why don't we try it for a weekend? See what happens. Do it this weekend. You won't. You won't. Try it. I'm going to try it. Okay, maybe, especially ladies, don't wash your hair. Don't wash your hair. The oil is actually really good for you. Just let it build up. I mean, body shower, I get it. Maybe you got some sweat on, but who cares about the hair? Nobody cares. If your boyfriend don't like you that way, too bad. You should leave him anyways. Same thing for you guys. You got a girlfriend like that, but I think it's okay the other way around. And the next thing you can do is this thing called xeriscaping. Choosing outdoor plants that are adapted for natural and outdoor conditions, aka climate. Ready to move on? Xeriscaping means like no grass. You don't want grass. You want something you can plant and forget. All right. So now you guys are going to go back into your Google Classroom and you're going to click on that one that says water solutions. Okay, here is your objective for the remaining of the period. You will write a minimum of 2 paragraphs that explain your solutions from A, the government, and B, the human population of California for our severe drought. Each paragraph should contain a minimum of 5 sentences, and please use complete sentences. This is not partner work. This is individual. So you will take this copy and starting right here, you're going to start typing stuff, okay? You need to address what do you think the government should do to help this drought, and what do you think we should do locally, at the actual civilian level, what we need to do to help this drought and help it maybe not happen again to where we're this severely hurting. Again, 2 paragraphs have to have at least 5 sentences, complete sentences. You guys can do this. It's due today, so you must do it, okay? And something's better than nothing, so even if you think you can't do it, but this isn't, you don't have to find a bunch of facts. You guys can just put your opinion into it. It's good to know somebody's opinion sometimes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to take off and you're about to embark on this sweet project. So, I'll see you guys on Monday. I hope you have a wonderful day. If there's something you really need, come see me during office hours. I will be there today. Once again, I will be there today. So if you have issues, come talk to me. Thank you guys so much. Have a great, great weekend, great day. Bye.